Hey, this is Brett the Hitman Hart, the best there is, best there was, and the best there ever will be. And you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Rewind. ARN, you're back.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Not much. Sickness,
Yeah,
hate kids, all of the above. Holidays, you know how it goes.
yeah, I know. You said you've been in the hospital quite a bit lately.
Oh yeah, between my daughter having 104 fever, we were in an emergency room a couple times this past week, and then this morning my son got his adenoids taken out or soldered or some shit. We were up at 4:00 in the morning. Like it's been a long ass fucking day.
Dude, I thought that was just like a weird autocorrect. What the hell are adenoids?
Like I guess like back there, like where your like tonsils and stuff are or some shit. Like I don't fucking know. Something to help him breathe better. He's pretty much just like he has sleep apnea all the time, and he's 17 years old. So
Oh, that's not good. He's like a walking bulldog.
right. So supposedly it'll help him breathe better and stuff, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, well, I hope they're feeling better, man. Kid gets plenty of ice cream. Although you say he's 17, so he probably don't care about that at this point.
No, I took him some popsicles earlier though.
There you go. What's up, everybody? I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. Oh, actually, RN, yeah, I didn't even get to see you for Thanksgiving, man. How was your holiday? Besides the sick everybody.
I mean, it was all right. I mean, we didn't, not really. I mean, just being honest, like it was terrible, but I did go Friday. I went up and saw Adam and met my new godson. We hung out with them. Didn't get to take any of the kids because they were all sick. So me and Taylor went up.
Yeah, I think over here in Casa de Tyson, all of us have finally cleared up. We've all had at least something, like to varying degrees, like whether it be something lingering or everybody's had like fevers at one point or another. And I think the last like day or two is like without even realizing it, we're like, oh shit, we're healthy.
Sick.
Yeah, all right. Look at this. Everybody feels good.
Well, normally I haven't got. Normally my daughter gives me everything. Like I was sick. Well, we were all sick. I guess what was that like a couple weeks ago? We were all sick, and this time, luckily, I didn't get it. So I'm counting my blessings.
That's good, man. Well, yeah. Well, I'm happy for you, man. You don't need to be getting sick. You guys, we had an awesome weekend of wrestling. Last week, I went solo. I gave our little prediction show towards Survivor Series, and I gave also a brief recap as well on AEW's Full Gear. If you guys haven't seen it already, check it out. It's on YouTube. It's in podcasts. It's just me. It's only 30 minutes though. It's bite size. It was kind of nice already shooting by myself. Got in and out like really quick. But
I did not mention though. Yesterday, Super Bowl rings came in.
Oh yeah. Damn! Look at that shit. Hold up. Let me give you the attention you deserve. Hold on 1 second. Bam! Look at that shit.
2-time Super Bowl champs. Got the shirts in.
Hell yeah!
Back to back. Let's get it. Oh, and then they had this made for me.
Oh, that's sick, dude. Oh my god, that's awesome. So anybody that's listening in. RN, you've got a nice poster size edit of you in the center, surrounded by your team.
Yeah, I stole Roman Reigns' moniker. We the ones. We stole that because we have been number one for the last 3 years. So
that's the shit, man. No, that's awesome. Congratulations, man. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was a bunch of hard work. Especially on the boys' half. I mean, I didn't do shit most times, just show up.
Yeah. You guys get to check this show out live. We're finally shooting at like our regularly scheduled time. Tuesdays on twitch.tv/SmackedRaw. RN and I hang out. We talk about the latest week in wrestling. It's gonna be pretty heavy CM Punk related stuff. We're gonna talk about Survivor Series briefly. But once again, yeah, you can always catch us live over here. We have I've got Tim in here in the chat, and he says, on another note, at least you get to eat tacos. So for those who didn't know, I recently made an appearance on our good friend Will's show, Botch Spots and Chair Shots. And we had a gentleman's wager. I love Allison to death, but she speaks with such confidence on certain things. And she said there was absolutely no chance CM Punk was ever returning to WWE.
Oh, I forgot about the bet.
Yeah. So I've been in the opposite side of the camp. I saw all the obvious signs for WWE to make a whole boatload of money with Punk in a structured environment, like you've said, RN, where they might be able to keep the guy under control. And also, he's pretty much got nowhere else to go. So I was fairly confident Punk was going to be returning to the company. And we made a wager that if Punk returned by the Raw after Mania, the loser, either myself or Will, because Allison can't do spicy foods, would have to eat the one chip challenge on I don't know whose show. It'll probably be like it'll probably be done on one of the shows, and then we'll just upload.
I think it should be done on our show since you won the bet. It should be. On
I think so too. I'm right there with you. I ain't gonna complain. At the very least, if it is on their show, I'm gonna obviously record the segment, and we're just gonna air it on our show anyways. While the winner gets to eat some hard shell tacos, because I have a pet peeve of eating on air. RN.
I saved that just to do that. I'm not gonna lie.
I know you did, motherfucker. RN's over here.
I muted it though.
Yeah, chewing food with his mic on mute. Yeah, so I'm gonna eat some tacos on Will's show while he does the one chip challenge, or it'll be on my show. Who cares? Who fucking cares? Will's gonna eat a one chip challenge and fucking die, and it's gonna be hilarious. We'll have to spice.
We are literally starting to be the place to come to for correct predictions when it comes to these things, because
we're on a little bit of a roll, man.
I said Triple H. The best for business thing is not just a moniker. That's what he does. That's what he gives a shit about. That's why NXT Gold was what it was. Like, he didn't care if you were 5'4", 190 pounds, or if you were fucking 6'3", 380 like Samoa Joe, or if you couldn't speak English. He did not care. If you were hot, Shinsuke, if it made sense and you made money, he was going to go with you. And no matter what we say about CM Punk, we all say that he's a needle mover, and he is. So,
yeah, I mean, there's no denying that. Absolutely, AEW has seen the change without him on the show, and then of course, I'm not gonna. You can't solely blame how successful Raw was on Punk, but it was a huge part of Raw. I can't wait to see the ratings for Monday Night Raw last night. Which, by the way, kudos to WWE for capitalizing on knowing so many people were going to tune in after Survivor Series to catch Punk, because they showed out for that show. They held Punk till the end. They used patience, because a lot of the times, you want to start off the show with something really hot, maybe Punk's music to get everyone amped up, but instead they gave the opening of Raw to Randy Orton wisely. And they kept teasing us all night that Punk would be have a live mic in his hand, which they saved for the very end segment.
Stop saying they. Triple H.
Triple H.
Say who it is. He did it. He lined it up perfectly.
Yeah, he lined it up, man.
We're having Randy come, so then you could save CM Punk for the end of the show, because we wanted to hear from Randy after a year. And we wanted to hear CM Punk, but he literally did it so perfectly to where tried out Randy to start the show, keep it hot, Seth in the middle, CM Punk at the end, and it was fucking like, I don't know why people are still doubting this man. I just don't understand why.
It's really cool to see all these big baby faces emerge in WWE. I don't think they've ever had so many actual popular baby faces running simultaneously on a single show, and everybody's got a little bit of an edge to them too. I like that too. Like, everybody gets isn't afraid to get booed a little bit here and there, and keep that kind of edge. But the
biggest thing for me is, I think, is Drew's, like, anti-hero stick. Like he's not quite heel, but he's not a babyface anymore. Like I wasn't really intrigued.
Who's
Drew
stick?
McIntyre.
Drew.
Like I wasn't really in on it until the promo and stuff that he did with Seth.
Well, he seems to me like he's trying to do good, but Jey Uso just keeps breaking him. Like the man just can't keep it together whenever you involve Jey Uso. Yeah. Tim's asking the question, one of the obvious ones. We were going to get into it, but I might as well answer it now. He thinks, or he's just stating rather. He says he kind of thinks Randy's return got overlooked because of CM Punk. I think he means like overshadowed.
Yeah.
Yeah, to a degree. Yeah, to a degree.
But
yeah.
I think that's why you bring Randy out first to kind of
exactly
so no one has that chance. You know what I'm saying? So like it's all eyes are on Randy because everybody was waiting on CM Punk and him. So you let him go out first, and it's all him. No one really interrupted. Just kind of him doing his thing. He got probably like 7-8 minutes before Rhea came out or whatever, I guess. But,
hell yeah!
But they did it perfectly. Like I said, Triple H knocked this shit out the park both nights in a row.
If it was truly overshadowed, the crowd would have been chanting Punk while Orton was out there, and they didn't.
Right.
They were happy to see him. Obviously, one return is bigger than the other, but I don't think that takes away from Randy's return. I'm really excited to see the guy. Now, and it's Tommy, not Tim. Damn it.
Tim Horton's just been calling him that.
Shit. I knew I was calling him by the wrong name. I was just hoping and praying. But no, Randy, I can't wait for him to fucking RKO Rhea Ripley. That is going to be a fantastic moment, man, when she gets her comeuppance. Crowd thought that he was going to do it last night, though. That's for sure. But before we get too heavy into the Punk stuff, because there's some cool, intriguing things that we get to theorize about Punk's return, we got to kind of backstep here and retrace our steps. How we got to Monday Night Raw with the show closing with CM Punk, and it all started at Survivor Series. Really, it started in AEW. But we're just going to skip all that shit and just go to Survivor Series. We had War Games over the weekend. RN, what did you think of the show?
It was a strong B.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, nothing was jaw-dropping about the show, but it was all very solid. I think the only thing that stuck out to me that probably didn't belong on the show was the Dragon Lee match with Santos Escobar. That felt like I don't know. It felt like a main event of SmackDown to me.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I thought it belonged because it was like literally the only match that was like actual mid-card match. Everything else was main event stuff, honestly. Yeah. Even the Walter Miz stuff, like, that could have been. It wasn't War Games, like that could have been a main event. Like it would have been a strong one, but it still could have been a main event. Like I think you needed a little bit of showcasing the entire card, and that was the only like real mid-card match in my eyes. So I wasn't mad at it.
I don't know, man. I wasn't into the whole the motivation of the of Dragon Lee's. Just I want to defend Ray's honor and have a match, and it was so easily. I don't know, man. The match.
That was
itself,
some Ray shit though. That was some shit Ray would do. That's why I didn't like. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't like head over heels for the build for it, but like that's some shit Ray would have done, and like he's clearly set up to be Ray's heir apparent because of the mask shit. So like I wasn't, man. Me personally, I just think Santos is just a better heel. So like I was kind of all on board for that too. Finally seeing him get back to being a heel.
I think Dragon Lee has an opportunity to take on some of that audience. WWE, if there's one, you think we WWE spent a long time trying to get Roman Reigns over. It's nothing in comparison to how long they've been trying to spend to create the next Rey Mysterio. It feels like every 5 years. Yeah.
To me, like I've been saying this since Santos came aboard, like he's everything they needed in a Latin star. He looks good, he talks good, whether it be Spanish or English. He can fucking go in the ring. And now in Dragon Lee, you kind of have that Eddie Ray thing going now where they can kind of build on that rivalry, especially them both coming from both of them have good big family names. More so Dragon Lee is more like in the newer generation kind of because of Roosh and all them and what they've done there. Los Ingranalas and all that. But then Santos's family too. So like, you kind of have it set up to where you can make this work, and I think this will work towards what they've been trying to do, and I think they might have finally have found. They're never going to get anything as big as Ray because Ray was just Ray. But with the two of them together and the matches they can have, and then they can both speak Spanish to the crowd and the audience and shit and everything like that. Like I think that this was kind of like the beginning of that, and why this was placed on this pay-per-view with so much other big shit going on, why they kind of snuck this one in on us.
Yeah, and I like the comparison to it's easy to make a lot of comparisons to Eddie Guerrero, especially with wrestlers who pay tribute to him in the ring so constantly. But if there was one thing that Eddie Guerrero was able to do really well that I actually see in Santos Escobar is convey emotion.
Yeah.
Santos Escobar can convey so much emotion and just in that guy's eyes alone that you really get sucked into the moment. That's why I feel like the segment where he turned on Ray was so strong. He played his cards perfect, and he was accented very well, oddly enough, by Zelina Vega in that segment too. That chick.
I called that too. It was just 2 months after I called it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I firmly believe in the potential between the two of the guys, especially Santos over Dragon Lee. Still, I really like as well, but we'll see if how well the general audience takes to the guy. But I think Santos Escobar will be a talent that is along the lines of undeniable. To be fair, yeah. But with that being said, I really wasn't a fan of the match on the show. I liked the match in a vacuum. But I wasn't a fan of it on the pay-per-view. And also, in Dragon Lee kind of looks like a chump because he just lost clean. So, not really sure. But besides that, there was a lot of other stuff that took place. I think the women's War Games match was probably the highlight of the night. What would you say about that?
No, yes and no. To me, the stuff with Becky and Charlotte kind of overshadowing, especially them not being on opposite teams. I didn't really like that so much, but to me, I thought the men's match was better. I think the women's match was better executed and maybe came across a little bit more smooth. But the men's just had everything that I wanted, and then of course CM Punk at the end. So to me, I'd go with the men's one.
Okay. I don't know, because the men's one felt like the men's match felt like it sacrificed its storytelling in the match to give us a bunch of Randy Orton related spots.
Yeah.
And not to mention the outcome made the Judgment Day look like absolute chumps. They are supposed to be essentially the successors to the Bloodline, as far as the dominant faction in WWE. And they came out and just absolutely got schooled like it was nothing.
But that's been the case.
Once Randy Orton got in. I know, but it's not supposed to be the case, RN.
That always is. It's the heels always end up fucked. The blood. We just got so fucking used to the Bloodline coming out on top because of Roman. That's how it always is in WWE with the heels. The heels almost never come out on top of these big matches like that. I did not expect it. They looked about as what I thought they would look like. And because if you really boil it down, the Judgment Day don't really have any stars but Drew. So everybody
and he's not even in the Judgment Day.
You know what I'm saying? That team. To me, I didn't see anything wrong with it. I expected that to be how it would look, and especially with Randy Orton returning and the fact that all the biggest stars in the match were all on the face team. So it is what it is. I expected, heels never win in these matches. They just don't, unless it's the Bloodline.
The spots, everybody doing the draping DDT, like I said, it was just, this is the closest I'll ever feel like I can relate to Cornette, was just knowing that all the storytelling went out the window so we could get a bunch of Randy Orton highlight spots. Granted, the RKO to Devlin off the cage was pretty badass.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
it's a gimmick match too, so it's it was either it was either people were going to complain about us getting something like that, or they'd complain about the violence, like a bunch of tables and shit, like it was.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. The one before, not the one with the bloodline, but the one before in NXT. Like, it's always going to be something in these types of matches to complain about. The fans will. So like, it is what it is. Like, it's a fucking gimmick match. Returning Randy Orton after a year, like oh fucking well. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like there was like somebody was gonna walk out of that match, regardless if they went hyper ultra violent, like destruction and shit, or the way that they went pro wrestling style. Like somebody was gonna come out of that fucking match complaining. So like, I'm not even like, I didn't necessarily like it either. But like I said, either way, it was gonna be not what someone wanted. So it's like, oh well, fuck.
Tommy, what do you where does the War Games match fall on your list of favorite gimmick matches? Where does it stand for you? Because I'm not gonna lie, as unique of a concept as it is, it really isn't like one of the best gimmick matches out there.
No, it's not the best gimmick match on the main roster. On NXT, that shit was fire. It was weapons, it was tables, fucking mayhem. Just on the main roster, it's not.
Yeah, the women tried to bring a little bit of the flavor. You know, obviously Io Sky replicating the spot where she jumped off the cage with the trash can on her head doing the crossbody. That is, man. I know. Jess hadn't seen it on NXT, so it was awesome watching her see that spot with like fresh eyes, because you know the hipster and you was like, oh man, I saw that, you know, years ago. But I was like, it was awesome seeing somebody witness that for the first time, because I was like, yeah, that really is a pretty fucking bonkers goddamn spot. The thing is, dude, with the men's War Games, the problem is like, so I'm just gonna come out and say it. I don't think Damian Priest is gonna get that belt. No, I don't see it now. You know, I was already skeptical. Beforehand, but now with Punk debuting and on the roster and seemingly in a feud with Seth Rollins, dude, I feel like Damian Priest is going to get put on the back burner almost as bad as Austin Theory was when he was holding on to that briefcase.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening. He's going to cash in on like the Intercontinental title or something, maybe. I don't know. Dude, and Tommy's really... like, come on, bro. The Team SmackDown, Team Raw shit. You mean the guys that were on their respective shows for 3 minutes and all of a sudden want to die for Raw and SmackDown?
Tommy, don't do this, man. Don't do this, Tommy. Tommy says he misses the brand warfare survivors. That is like that is a cardinal sin, Tommy. Get out of here with that shit. Yeah, you way fucking ahead of me, dude. But no, man. Damian Priest. I had really high hopes for the guy. I ain't saying he's dead and buried now, but it's like he's like the fourth most interesting person for title contention. I'm more excited, although I know this ain't happening by this point. But hell, I was more excited to see Shinsuke going for the belt before they relegated him to jobber of the baby faces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, it is. It's the only reason why it's going to still be exciting because we don't know when it's coming.
Yeah. No, exactly. I do hope that Damian Priest they can salvage the guy, because for one, I'm a huge fan of the concept of the Money in the Bank briefcase. I feel like in theory, that should be one of the most intriguing story beats almost year round in WWE. Just having that unforeseen or just that not unforeseen, excuse me, that looming threat that could pounce and snatch up the world title at any given time. But we've been conditioned and like wore down over the years that whoever holds that briefcase, in fact, just gets their ass kicked all year long, because they think that, you know, we're going to be happy once they finally win the belt. When's the last Money in the Bank winner that we were really like intrigued by? Because look, we've got, I mean, Damian Priest up to a certain point, but before this, we had Austin Theory, and then we had who was before Austin Theory? Was that the one year the Miz took it from Otis?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, so, I mean, we're going on at least like 3 years where WWE have kind of just not really made that person a threat. I'm struggling to think about the last time I saw somebody with a Money in the Bank briefcase, and I'm like, oh shit, I cannot fucking wait.
I think that when we get Triple H's actual decision on that, I think it'll happen. I think we'll get some more intrigue about it because we forget all of these last few to have it. These have all been Vince's things. We haven't really. I don't think we really have a Money in the Bank winner under Triple H yet. I won't count it until next year because even though technically this was under, but like I feel like a lot of these storylines and stuff they had already had planned out, and like I don't think they were going to pivot too far away from some of the major beats, like especially Money in the Bank winner and stuff. So especially after he had that match with Bad Bunny and stuff and all that, like I think they kind of had to stick with Damian.
Yeah, Tommy says that you feel like they could do Damian at any point and he could run with it. That is true in theory. It's just my main complaint is that they're making him almost like because we know that he could cash in at any point, they don't feel like it's important to make him look strong week to week. Like the Damian Priest we got right now is eating pins left and right. He's self-conscious.
A lot of that is not necessarily because of the Money in the Bank. It's because of the position that the Judgment Day is in on the card. And I think that that's where we're kind of getting swirled up in it. Like, I think if he was on his own, I don't think he'd be on TV as much, and I don't think he'd have as much exposure if he wasn't with the Judgment Day and they weren't where they were on the card. So I think that's what a lot of it is. It's just more so that because they keep the roller coaster in Judgment Day. Like at some weeks or months, they're dominating everybody at the top of the fucking card. They got all the belts, and then like this past month, they're getting their ass kicked every fucking week. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
I forgot during Rhea's promo because of how bad the Judgment Day looked at War Games that they're all fucking champions. I completely forgot. I'm like, oh shit! Look at all these losers. Oh, by the way, they happen to hold like the majority of the gold in the main roster right now.
That's what I'm saying. So like, I don't think it's necessarily him being the Money in the Bank holder. I think it's because of how they're using Judgment Day. And I'm not really mad at it all the time of how they're using it anyway. Because like sometimes they use them to put over guys. Sometimes they're the placeholders. Like it goes back and forth. So, like, it kind of is what it is. But like I said, I don't think it's necessarily because he's the Money in the Bank holder. I think it's because of how they use Judgment Day as a whole. Yeah. Sometimes he has to – sometimes they just got it. They're eating the fucking pin. It doesn't matter. It's just not their night.
Yeah. I wonder if they're going to turn him face. Well, see, here's the thing is, like, it's like, okay, in the back of my mind, maybe they turn him face – and he can take it off of a heel. Yeah, but it seems like that's what they want him to do, man. I'm not sure. Like I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm overthinking this, but it's weird because you got Seth hovering through that he's got the belt. Punk's looming. You have arguably Jey Uso, but I think Jey and Drew McIntyre are about to go off and do their own thing to take them out of the title picture. Yeah, and then with CM Punk, who fucking knows what they're going to do with that guy? Like, who knows?
Well, from Raw, it doesn't look like it's him and Seth. It looks like it's going to be Drew and Seth.
Well, Drew... Yeah, I mean, and where does Jay mix up in all of that, though, too? Because Jay's the catalyst of why Drew McIntyre can't keep his shit together and be a decent person. Is just every time that he sees Jay, he fucking snaps.
I saw it on some fucking podcast. I want to say maybe it was the Masked Man show, but like they were comparing Drew's character now to kind of how like old school Kevin Owens, where he's completely self-aware of what he's doing and why he's doing it. So that kind of makes him not a heel, but then he does some fucked up shit because he is so self-aware of where he's at and what he's doing that it makes him heelish. So he's kind of like in that tweener mode, which is what I was saying like before we got started, where I don't mind that. Like he shook Steph's hand. He told him, "You're right. I did this to my fucking self because I can't stop thinking about Jay." And then he kicked Steph's fucking head off. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
only once he heard that Jey Uso took the spot. Because you heard him off mic screaming. He's like, I beat him 2 weeks ago. I beat him 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? And he snapped. Yeah, it's fucking it's definitely very much. It's very much that he's in between. He wants to be good. Like deep down, he probably wants to be good. But before we completely leave Survivor Series behind us, it's only really like one other match I really wanted to touch on, and that was the Intercontinental Championship match with the greatest of all time Intercontinental Champion and Gunther. This match with Miz and Gunther, I wanted it to be better. Like I wanted to believe RN.
I didn't. Because Miz is not that guy. Like he's not a 4-star, 5-star guy. But what I liked about it is that we got heel Miz versus a heel Gunther, and they never do that. Somebody always has to be the face, and Miz was pulling out all the fucking Miz stops to win that fucking title. So like, I'm not mad at how we got there.
I feel like the Miz is kind of feeling like a sanitized, and this is going to be a harsh comparison at first, but just hang on with me, like a sanitized MJF, where he's becoming he's still doing his scoundrel stuff, but the people are still loving him for it. At this point, he's won the crowd over. He can still do his cheating ways, but essentially in a lovable way, and people are happy. But
it also depends on the opponent too. Like Gunther's a hated opponent, so like they're gonna cheer. Again, this is stuff that was set up perfectly. Like we got to get what made Miz the Miz, but because it was against a person that we hate or that they want us to hate and we try to hate, it made us, like you said, it made us endear Miz more. He's our scumbag type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so like, exactly. That's kind of where I'm
going. That's why I wasn't really mad. And like I didn't expect it to be a fucking 5-star grappling match because Miz is not that guy. He's never been that guy.
Yeah.
He's like MJF. You get a 3, maybe a 4 out of him, but you get a 5 on the fucking mic. And them two going back and forth on the mic, I think we got to see Gunther shine on the mic because I don't think he's really had an opponent where he had to go back and forth like that. When he schooled Miz, that last promo they had before Raw, I think he fucking outclassed Miz kind of. But
about how he should be bullied.
Yeah,
he's like,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
he's like, all those, you dreamt of being a WWE wrestler, and when you got here, all the heroes you looked up to bullied you. Right. And 20 years later, you should still be bullied. And then he starts like pie-facing him, dude. Oh, yeah, no, it's fucking brutal. It's heartbreaking.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, like, and it propped Miz up to be that piece of shit that got him to be there, but now, I hate to say it, he's our piece of shit. So like,
yeah, man,
we got the match that I expected to get, honestly. Like,
yeah, I love the Miz. I don't even try to hide it. I absolutely love the Miz, and the match was fine. And you know, like I said, at no point were they even going to be able to make us believe that Miz had a chance in there. We know that 2 low blows in a skull crashing finale ain't going to do that to Gunther.
I love Miz because he called his fucking shot. Like he was on a whole nother fucking show and network and said, I'm going to be a pro wrestler and made it to the top. Miz is like the wrestling equivalent of the Kardashians, bro. Like it sucks how they got, hear me out. It sucks how they got famous because Miz was calling somebody a nigger on Road Rules and shit. It sucks how they got there, but they rebounded from it. And now they're best. They literally ball out to do everything they said they wanted to do. Like it's the American dream. I'm sorry, it is.
to call someone the N-word and still thrive in your career.
Yes. Bro, he would never have recovered from that. If that was this day and age, he'd never recover from that.
Did he really drop an N-bomb?
Yeah.
I didn't know that about him.
Yeah, that was what kind of like what made him famous on the Road Rules. I mean, besides him pretending to be the Miz, like he it was an innocent thing, kinda. You could just tell like he'd never been around black people in his life. Like
okay, so this wasn't like the backwoods coming out of his head.
No. He just said some shit that was culturally insensitive, and like I said, you could just tell him. Like even the girls and the black people on the show, like they were hurt and mad about it, but like they knew. Like it wasn't like some malicious, like they knew he's just ignorant. The motherfucker never been around no people of color in his life, and like they kind of that was like the second half of that season. They kind of rallied behind him, and made him back a part of the family and shit or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for him to go from that shit to WrestleMania and all the shit we're getting out, like, I fucks with Miz. I do.
Yeah, man. No, I do too, and I think a lot of people have come around to the Miz. They love the guy. But yeah, it was overall. I think Survivor Series at that point it was like you said, it was a strong B. There was no huge moments other than, I would say, obviously when CM Punk debuted at the end, came out. We had of course the stuff that didn't air that we saw, like Drew McIntyre storming out of the ring. Seth Rollins just saying a whole bunch of fuck yous and giving CM Punk the bird. Clearly like a work, but nonetheless hilarious.
I kind of like at first I was like, man, this might be real, and then when I saw it was Michael Cole fucking holding it back, I'm like, all right, well, they ruined it. Yeah. They should have had somebody else there, not fucking Cole.
Yeah, that
clearly a work.
Yeah, it's still fun though. I still like it. It's a decent show, and obviously it got us excited. Going, we spent the next 48 hours like, oh, what's going to happen on Raw? What are they going to do on Raw? And I'm not going to lie, they killed it. Honestly, they absolutely killed it. So we mentioned how they broke up the main stars of Raw across the whole show. You kicked off the night with Randy Orton, and then midway through the show, we got both Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes in there, and then we closed out the night with a showcase match with Randy Orton coming back, and of course the CM Punk's return promo. I think another huge highlight of the show that was just kind of overshadowed by a dead crowd was the tag team turmoil. They really tried to showcase off the tag teams of the show. The second half was really good. Boy, I'll tell you one thing. If Indus is clearly been trained by Jinder Mahal, because it's like the clearest non-threatening tag team to get rolled up by Johnny Gargano in about 1 minute. But oh my gosh, dude, that team.
Turkish AOP is garbage, bro. Like, I don't know why they keep doing that. I'm telling you, man,
that team. What? It's clearly, and it's not even like this. It's not like WWE's trying to make them something. Mm-hmm. It's just like, hey, we have you guys on payroll. We got to roll you out on TV every now and then, but don't do anything.
Shit. Like, bro,
don't do anything, right?
Yeah, like why does every fucking, like, I don't know. I just hate the ethnic shit. I hate the Viking shit for Ivar, whichever one of those fuckers it is.
No, that shit works, man. That shit works.
No, it does not. No, it does not.
It works. Come on.
Bro, stop. There aren't no fucking Vikings. It's like, come on, bro. That's not a real thing. It doesn't exist anymore. Like,
he's
you know
embracing.
Like,
he's embracing the heritage.
Fuck off. There is no heritage, bro. That's like embracing the fucking Confederate flag. That's our heritage. It was around for 4 years, bro. Stop. It's not your heritage. There is no more fucking Vikings. Like, there is no fucking shaman Valhalla, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Rising up. Like, bro, it's stupid as fuck. They are amazing in the ring. I have been for years. Like, they don't need the dumbass gimmick. And then Indus, like, they don't, like, the bigger one, like, they had him on NXT when he was like in a suit back in the back with the bitches and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was smooth as fuck. Like, he was really good on the mic. Like, why does he have to put on face paint and be some fucking Indian fucking shaman type fucking thing, like racist shit? Like,
because because it's either they do that with him or they make him work IT. All right, because they're not going to know what else to do.
They might get over more doing the IT shit. But my thing is, why can't they just be like Indian?
They show up every time the LED board starts flickering. Indus comes out.
Why can't they be literally like Indian fucking Hurt Business? Like, come out in the suits and shit.
Yeah, they looked hot in the suits, man.
Like, no, like the bigger dude, I always forget his name, but like, he really was good on NXT. Like, he was like in the back with the girls and shit. Like, he can talk. Like, he looks good. Like I don't understand like why they have to always have some ethnic shit. Like,
no, I'm right there with you. Of course, the biggest offender of this is clearly Xia Li on the main dude. That's I can't even watch her entrance.
Mortal Kombat, like, I don't know what the fuck she's doing, bro.
I can't even watch her entrance. It's so cringy. how they just don't know what to do with her other than just lean like you're Asian and you know kung fu. Okay.
Oh, bring your swords. Don't you got swords in your trunk? Bring those.
Yeah,
in.
you carry swords around on you all the time, don't you? Fucking shit. This totally got sidetracked. No, the tag team turmoil was pretty awesome. I think they clearly are pushing the Creed brothers to the moon, and rightfully so. The Creed brothers are fun, man. I do feel like it's if Chad Gable wasn't already killing it with the Alpha Academy stuff that he goes on, they would blend together really well. I feel like I don't know, man. I feel like the Creed brothers are missing something. I feel like they're missing something, and maybe it shouldn't be the obvious Chad Gable, Kurt Angle type thing. Who knows? Maybe a Jason Jordan, if maybe he's developed behind the stage, like as a manager. I feel like they're just missing because I think
know what they're missing is we don't know who they are. Well, most people that don't watch NXT don't know who they are.
And they don't really give us much because the person who talks the most in there is Ivy Nile, and her thing is, she's not the strongest person.
She's terrible on the mic.
Yeah. I love her look, and so that's kind of I feel like, yeah. So that's where I'm leaning. Is
Julius
they're
can
struggling.
Actually go he's good on the mic. He's still green, and he is good on the mic. But I think that they're missing like a Paul Heyman or just somebody else to be with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, of recognition, because I think that's just all it really is. Because honestly, to me, they're the best tag team on Raw right now, and it's like not even close.
They're gnarly. They are gnarly. I want them to be more menacing though, like not even like in a heelish way, but I want them to. And I think WWE or Triple H recognizes this because a nice little story beat after the Creed brothers won the tag team turmoil match was. Finn Balor backstage addressing Damian Priest really quick, like, "Hey, I just got done watching the Creed brothers. These guys are legit.
Right?
Like, we need to take them seriously." That's a fantastic little beat to have your tag team champions and then also your top act on Raw acknowledge this new up and coming team and give them their due. Yeah. I really like that. And then of course. The other highlight is Bronson Reed and Ivar. These guys need to do showcase matches every fucking week, dude.
Right.
Like, that feud is fire, man. I mean, how are you feeling about it? Because these dudes, I think they're crushing it, dude.
War Raiders or whatever the fuck they were, War Machine, like they were so fucking fire before Vince bastardized them. I think people forget how dope they really were. When
Ivar's good on the mic too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think people forget what they could do because they've been fucking eating turkey legs and playing basketball with the Street Profits and fucking.
I forgot about that shit. Yeah.
Now they got some bitch that don't wear deodorant, underarm hair, like creeping behind them and shit. Like, they've just been saddled with terrible fucking booking, and we forgot that they can actually fucking go and talk in the ring if you let them. So.
Yeah, I love this whole feud that him and Bronson Reed are having where they can't obviously they can't contain themselves to just a normal match. They were having a showcase match in the middle of Raw. I believe there was a double count out and then they just fought out into the ring. They were fucking destroying stagehands and security, all these wrestlers, like up and coming wrestlers and everything, just getting absolutely wrecked by these two behemoths. It was fun. That was the moment when they were brawling in the crowd where I was like, bro, WWE is firing on all cylinders right now. Like they are.
Triple H is firing on all cylinders right now, like you did. Let's go back and strict all these records and make sure you go back and change it to it. Triple H is firing on all cylinders when it comes to booking and wrestling product presented to us on a weekly basis. Stop saying fucking WWE. It's not WWE.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, man. No, it's a really fun product. And to be fair, as a wrestling fan, I feel fucking spoiled at this point. I feel absolutely spoiled because I love AEW. They're not perfect. Obviously, if you withhold comparing them to WWE and what they've got going on, there's plenty of stuff to enjoy there. There is great wrestling on every goddamn week, dude. We are absolutely spoiled.
I was just gonna say I told y'all so.
Yeah,
I did. I told y'all so.
yeah.
I told y'all Triple H when he got his hands on these guys, and the thing that I love about it is all of his guys are in position of power.
Yeah,
all of his guys besides Roman, and even technically Roman was, because that Shield stuff and all that stuff that was with fucking
Dean and Seth.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, not even that. It was with Evolution too. Like, all of that shit. Like, all of these guys have some way been molded by Triple H, or at least propped up to be where they're at by Triple H. So, like, it doesn't surprise me. Like, and I knew this was how it was going to be. I knew people were going to be Glock 3000 in them eventually once they got. Because I think a lot of it, what people don't understand is, like, some of these things are mapped out for so long, and it's hard to just scratch shit that you've been planning for a year. So, like, I feel like we kind of had to, like, cleanse out the Vinceism shit, and Vince is part of these storylines and things before we got that new transfusion of Triple H blood in. And we're starting to see it come alive. We're starting to see that it makes wrestling make sense. We start to see that they don't just, like, start a fucking feud and then the next week completely abandon it and they start a new feud with the same people and with different things and shit. Like, all the little detailed things that they just took for granted and made us feel like all these fucking idiots won't notice it. Triple H does know that we notice it. He does listen to the fans. He does listen, and he does do what's best for business. And we are wrestling fans we're in for a hell of a ride coming into this fucking WrestleMania season. Sorry, fucking AEW, you guys fucking blow dicks because your owner sucks. You need to find you a Triple H. You need to find you somebody that Tony can trust in to put all, because that's the thing about Tony. It's like his ideas aren't terrible. He just doesn't know how to execute them correctly, or he either overthinks it or underthinks it, and it never goes the way.
Or abandons it before seeing it through. Yeah.
Who else used to do those things?
Yeah, no, he's true. Tony Khan, he's just what he's doing is he's speed running his way to Vince McMahon's booking philosophy.
It was already Vince McMahon. We just hated Vince so much and had so much animosity built up towards Vince. And they were just starting out, that they had that honeymoon period that we did see. But Tony has not changed anything. Like, that's the thing about these stands and people that are like, oh, it's always been like this. It was just, they had their grace period, and we hated Vince and what WWE was doing on our favorite wrestlers so much that it kind of took the fucking target off of Tony. But then once Vince got thrown out of there, then you started seeing that Tony is like, just like Vince, a billionaire doing whatever the fuck he wants with his company, and it sucks.
Nah, I mean, it was like he was already having some missteps, but it became way more noticeable once Triple H took over the first time, because then it was no longer like, hey, cheer us because WWE and Vince McMahon over there fucking suck,
right?
Because that argument was made like one or two more times, and people were like, well, actually, Triple H is doing things, and we're actually kind of liking it. Exactly. We kind of like both of you guys. And they're like, well, no, fuck WWE, right? And they're like, no, man, it's all good. Like, we like both right now. And they're like, oh, fuck, we're kind of shallow. We don't really have anything else to rally our fans. You know what I mean? Because AEW does have a lot. I mean, if you want to see the most insane match of the week, almost 9 times out of 10, it's going to take place on an AEW show.
They just should have never fired CM Punk, because as much as we hate the dude or whatever, I'm sorry. Like, I was fully invested in CM Punk's Collision. I hate to say that, but I really fucking was. Like, even the shit with the other belt, I hated that part. But, like, everything else, the storytelling, him building up Ricky Starks, the Bullet Club having their thing like that, and just the absolute presentation and package of Collision, to me, was the best show on TV. And I'm saying including Raw and SmackDown. Like, I'll stand doing that shit.
No, the formula was there, man. You were absolutely right. No, I tuned in because you had told me for a couple weeks, and I was just missing the show for one reason or another, and I wasn't going back because it was kind of like how I look at NXT and TNA. I was like, dude, I'm at my limit. But hearing you, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll force myself to turn it on and give it a peek through. And yeah, it grabbed my interest right away. Right, those last couple episodes before CM Punk was fired.
Because it wasn't even just necessarily the wrestling, but they were actually telling stories. The presentation, like it looked like a combination of Nitro and Dynamite, which made it its own thing.
Yeah.
So and their music was better. Their video package was better. Like it looked like what you would expect out of the number 2 wrestling company in the U.S. If that makes sense. And I absolutely fucking loved it. And you would think that, oh, it's his show, he's putting himself up. No, he'd have because he was the champ, he'd have the opening promo, and for the most part, he'd be gone. He really was pushing other people, and like I said, building. Ricky Stark wouldn't be what he is now, what they're doing now, if it wasn't for CM Punk building him up on Collision.
And Ricky Starks will get built up again once he heads over to WWE.
Let's get it with all his guys. Let's go.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. Collision, the Collision. How long do you think until the bulk of the original Collision castmates start working their way into WWE?
Well, I didn't know that Ricky Starks and all those guys are really Cody Rhodes guys.
Yeah.
So then that's another thing, and then on top of it, CM Punk's guy too, because like I said, he was building a roster. I don't know how much he actually had. I don't know how much of it was him and Daniel Bryan or whatever, but they were building a roster. It was almost like the SmackDown 6, like how Paul did it when he took over. They had their group of guys, and the whole show was built around those 4 or 5 guys, which was FTR, Ricky Starks, and a couple other guys. And I'm like, I loved it. I thought the show was fucking. I'm not just saying this to say I really thought it was the best show on wrestling every week for about probably a month and a half, 2 months, or whenever he really was taking over. I never watched it on Saturday because who the fuck's home on a Saturday night? But I did. I probably watched Collision more than I watched Dynamite. If I'm being 100% honest, I always figured out a way to watch Collision.
Yeah, I was throwing it on Sunday myself. Yeah. Once in my interest in the show, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like somehow in my soul I'm a CM Punk fan, because whether it was I'm not interested because he's not on the show, or I feel like something's missing from.
I tried to give it a chance
backstage.
Too, I really did. I tried to give it a chance too, and it's just not.
I got to tell you, man.
You can tell something's missing.
They need to abandon the WCW nostalgia that they got going on. I'm telling you, they have to abandon it, and they got to start replicating what NXT Black and Gold was. Yep. They have to go back to that shit. They have to abandon. And the worst part is
they have all those guys and better guys than NXT Black. They got Swerve, they got fucking Samoa Joe, they got the whole Undisputed fucking era if they wanted to get them back. I don't understand how they dropped the ball so much.
Just quit with the cheesy music. Start infusing your product with metal, a lot of black fucking gothic themes, the whole 9, dude. Make it metal.
The race card that I always put, a fucking hardcore guitar riff, fucking wrestling theme music. Everybody loves. Black people, white people, it does not matter.
I'm sorry, dude. Metal music and pro wrestling are probably the easiest fit for music. Now, I'm not saying you can't get other genres in there, but
if I was a wrestler, my black ass would have a fucking some rock band doing my music.
Yeah.
I'm not. Nothing beats that fucking guitar riff or whatever the fuck it is to start a fucking song, and everybody knows that that's your song. Mm-hmm. Rap can't do that. Besides Swerve when I drive, and a lot of it is nah. But besides that, there are I'd have to have some fucking heavy fucking some shit before I come out to the fucking ring. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man, I'm right there. I feel like that's one thing. Just to change that theme alone. I'm sorry. I don't know. And like I said, I might be in a smaller camp. I don't want to be reminded of WCW anymore. I don't. That brand had, it had its moments. But you can't relive that nostalgia forever, though. Eventually, people are just going to be reminded of all the bullshit that happened in WCW, and it's just not
how I
fun.
feel about bringing these old folks in.
Yeah, man, it's fine. We had it. We're 4 years in. That's about as many good years as WCW fucking had. Yeah. All right, and let's move on. Like let the presentation evolve some. I really did like I said, that was one of my compliments to what you said about Collision. I for one, I've always hated fucking Collision's theme song. Like I think it's the worst. I really know what
their theme song is, if I'm being honest.
It's oh fuck, it's I can't remember the name. It's an old fucking. It's like an old rock song. I can't remember. But it's like up there with when SmackDown was using like AC/DC. Right. It like is just like along the lines. I can't stand it, dude. But other than that, the presentation, once again, that was my key thing. You say like the stories and everything. I was like, no, it looked like a clean, well-produced version of like what AEW was.
That's what I'm saying. It looked like what you in your mind, if you said this is the number 2 wrestling company in the United States. If you put Collision up to people that didn't know, they're like, okay, yeah, that it's not all the way WWE, but it does. It look I can see them.
It's clearly a higher professional production than anything else out there.
Whoever Kevin Dunn's little right hand man that they signed, he must have been on Collision, because like that's the only differentiator where I could tell that man's talent was being put to use. Is that had to have been him on Collision.
Yeah. Anyway, CM Punk's on WWE now.
Yep.
So let's tackle this promo now. Now it's just like they did on Raw last night. Let's save CM Punk's promo conversation for the end of the show. It's intriguing. So for one, the promo CM Punk's always captivating. Like, but it's there's a lot of layers here because earlier in the night, Seth Rollins comes out to loud CM Punk chants. He tells people to get it out of their system because he's not going to waste his breath on somebody who's a hypocrite, right? And then CM Punk's whole promo is the guy being a fucking hypocrite. He's happy to be back. WWE's home. He's back there hugging people, high-fiving. Everybody's happy to see him. Well, except maybe one person. Wink, wink. And, it's CM Punk. There was some really cool parts. Him referencing, Dusty Rhodes telling him to always speak his truth. And the wise man Paul Heyman told him that if he wanted to get everything he could out of WWE, he'd have to leave, and come back. Like, that was all good. But the entire promo is it's the opposite. It's not hard to find the compilation videos of CM Punk talking about how WWE is obviously the worst thing ever. But for him to now say that he's home, he's happy to be there, he feels like himself again, everything's a fucking hypocrite. And I'm not saying that like CM Punk Phil Brooks is being a hypocrite. I'm reading into this has got to be his character. Because after the promo was done, and he's talking about how happy he is to be back, he speaks off mic, but the camera can still pick it up. And he undoes his entire promo because he says, I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to make money. And so my
thing is like Vince ain't there, and that's really who his beef was with. Like, as much as the Triple H shit, like the Triple H stuff with him and Triple H was worker shit. It wasn't executive boss, employee shit.
Yeah,
everything's different. Like, everyone loves their old job when you go back and all the dickhead bosses are gone.
It's very true. It's very true. I've been in that position before.
You wouldn't have went back if the dickhead bosses weren't gone, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like I said, the best for business shit. This is best, and I think that despite all the shit he said about WWE, he got to see the grass ain't always fucking greener on the other side.
That is true.
AEW, he saw that it's run by a fucking bunch of idiots and kids, and there was no like real professionalism. And like I've always said, I think he needs someone to fucking whip their dick back out on him. Like, nah, motherfucker, chill. And I don't think he had that there in AEW. Like, and I think that would
put it out there. Like, we got to make these things happen. And
well, the thing I like about it is Triple H finally like whipping his dick out.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Always talking about fucking dicks, bro.
It is what it is, man. My dick is bigger than yours. It was cold that night. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, bro. Hey, everybody, as much shit as people talk, everyone always wants that person that's going to tell them no and stand up to them.
They need it, man.
You need that.
It.
You need that fucking. And I think he realized that. Holy shit, I fucked up. This is not the same, and that's why we're back where we're at. So
it's like, yeah, no, exactly. And I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what they do. He goes straight for the belt, right?
No, I don't think he needs to be.
You don't think so?
I think that you might get a slight revolt if he gets anywhere near the belt. I think he can challenge for it, but I don't think he ever needs to win it.
Oh no, bro. I think so. My theory is because we what we've learned is apparently there wasn't ink to the paper till the day of Survivor Series. That's how last second it was, right? Well, Punk ain't desperate. He's got money. He's not going to come back for the sake of coming back. He's not going to come back just so he can get a convenient moment on Survivor Series. I imagine the guy's a smart guy, and he's going to make sure that he's going to be happy with the deal. And what have we known that Punk wants? And he's always felt like he's been owed while he was in WWE. That is a main event spot in WrestleMania. I would be hard pressed to think that was not somewhere in the contract.
Yeah, but a main event spot in WrestleMania doesn't mean a win in a main event spot in WrestleMania.
It's true. Yeah, night one, right?
Yeah,
that's the compromise. We'll give you main event.
If there's no Cody and Roman, then I'm sorry. I think Punk versus Seth is worthy of night 2.
Oh fuck, dude! Really? But we're getting Cody. Roman's night 2. If he's got that belt, Roman's night 2.
I don't think so. I think
dude.
If it's not Cody, no, I don't think that he deserves to be night 2 when we haven't seen the motherfucker but a couple times in the last 7-8 months.
Deserves or not? I'm just saying like how they operate.
No,
they're not going to relegate that. They're not going to relegate Roman all of a sudden to night 1.
I understand what you're saying too, but I'm saying if it's not Cody and Roman, the biggest fucking main event is CM Punk versus Seth. Like,
yeah, that is huge.
Like, it might even technically really be bigger than Cody and Roman, honestly. If
people become impatient or just fatigued from how long the Cody. I mean, I'm still interested in Cody winning, but it's not hard to think of that a hotter, new, fresher feud pops up that gets you more excited. I mean, fuck. But we were all stoked for Cody to go to WrestleMania this year. But once Sami Zayn caught fire, like, it was hard to convince people that they wanted anything else other than Sami Zayn and Roman. So yeah, you're right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me if there would be a large camp of people who are more excited for Punk and Seth, especially people who still have like that attachment to the old Punk, like the anti-authority, because Roman really is the antithesis of the WWE machine.
Well,
you know what I mean?
2 wrestlers in my top 10 all time. So
yeah, so
to me, it's the main event.
I could see it. A lot of people arguing for it. I just don't think it'd happen. I feel like they give him night 1. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. We gave night 1 to a tag team this year. Yeah, Punk. We'll find it. We'll make it happen. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, well, if that's the case. I'm just trying to think. Like, I'm trying to think of like what we could do with Punk to get us there. Right, because for one, you got to keep that dude from getting injured. That guy is like seriously 3 matches. He's averaging like 5 to 10 matches before he picks up an injury.
He's got to win the Rumble or win a title shot at
Elimination Chamber.
Yeah,
I think I don't know, man. We heard Cody announce himself for the Rumble on Raw, which is actually pretty cool. They're building for the Rumble. This early. That's an awesome move.
It's really not that early, yo. It's only a month away.
Yeah, but I mean, months. I think the last year or two, I feel like they held out till like the last couple weeks. Like, this is the very first night back after Survivor Series to start talking about Rumble is good. It's good. Yeah, just trying to think of who you would put with Seth. I mean, sorry, who you would put with CM Punk right away, right? Or do we get a case where he just comes out and talks a bunch, and we fill time with him just talking?
I think we just fill time with him talking.
Yeah, because he ain't gonna wrestle on a weekly show. You think, right?
No, maybe.
You think we're gonna get him on?
It'd have to be somebody like Dominic
Safe.
Or something like that, or like, you know what I'm saying, like.
Yeah, it'd have to be safe too. It'd have to be as safe as you can get a wrestling match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Although his injuries have been like absurd. Still, him breaking his foot, kicking the guardrail, jumping into the crowd, still fucking boggles my mind. Like that's what took him out.
Well, I mean, he's almost 50 years old, so
it's true. He is brutal. Anyways, it was fun. We'll have to wait and see. You think he's exclusive to Raw, or do you think he's going to show up on SmackDown too?
No, I already heard that he's going to be on SmackDown.
Hell yeah. Okay. I think that's what you do there. No, he doesn't have anything against the Bloodline. I'm getting confused. Randy Orton says his whole mission statement is to get every member of the Bloodline. Yeah. But anyways, that was a fun show. It was fun. There's a whole lot of shit. RN, any updates on the dogs?
Yeah, we got a couple pups left. If anybody's interested for a quick little Christmas gift, let me know. I might work out a deal with you.
No black
on IG.
You got some Black Friday deals, some late Black Friday deals.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the puppies.
Cyber Monday, bro.
Cyber Monday. It's Tuesday. Well, I missed you, dude. I hope you and your family stay healthy, man.
Yeah, it's been a shitty last couple weeks, but we're working it out.
Yeah. Of course. You guys take care of yourselves. Listen, we always talk about battling alcoholism and mental health issues. It is the holidays. Seasonal depression is a thing. Yours truly. I endure a lot of. I gotta do quite a bit to keep my head on straight when I'm at work. Try to keep your heads up, Ben. If you're ever struggling, don't struggle by yourself. Reach out, get help if you need it. Talk to those around you. Hell, talk to us. We find this very important. Please do not suffer in silence. It doesn't help anybody.
We're here always. Like I said, don't be afraid to reach out, and you got more people supporting you than you think. So always keep that in mind. Yeah,
man. Stay safe out there. Love each other. Until next time, y'all have a good one.
See y'all next week.